Hi, welcome everyone. And this is a new series that I'm starting on reading together. The idea is to make a habit of reading early in the morning, and it's 17th February today, and the time is 6 a.m. And I've picked Manorama Yearbook 2023 to get started with. And what should we read today? So maybe we could start with the people of India. Looks interesting. What I'd like to do while I'm reading is I keep a copy. I make sure if I find something interesting, I make a note of it. It'll help you quote in your future references. It helps you get a better idea of what you're reading, and it's a great habit while you're reading. It gives you a sense of satisfaction, and once you're done reading, you retain a lot of information and you can also quickly glance through the important points. So, getting started with the people of India, it's page 505. And yeah, the people of India, a snapshot of India's diversity, stands out not just with regard to size and population, but uniquely in terms of culture, ethnicity, languages, food, attire, religion, landscape, and even politics. The history of India can be traced back to Harappan civilization. Dravidians, Aryans, among many other people, make the population of this country. For centuries, the country came to be ruled by native kings, foreign rulers, like the Mughals for more than 530 years, starting from 1206 to 1740, and Europeans ruled from 1498 to 1947. Portuguese, French, Dutch, and British came for trade. British ruled for 200 years. The post independence story of democracy and development is for all to see. India is the largest democracy in the world, a democratic federal republic with multi party system, social customs, naming conventions. Many people in India have a pet name or a nickname for a family and close friends. Indians generally address saying bhai, that means brother, and sahib, that means sir, behenji, that means sister, and mehim saab, that means ma'am. It is generally safe to address as sir or ma'am. Meeting and greeting. It's traditional to greet people using namaste or namaskar. Place both hands together and bow slightly. Men will shake hands when they meet or as they part. Men may avoid shaking hands with women who are not well acquainted. Indians may hug and often pat each other on the back as a sign of friendship. The educated people would shake hands, but for a native person, it would not be easy to do it with a foreigner. Indian culture is based on a hierarchical system, so elders are greeted first. Religion, caste, and social standing all affect greetings. Personal space. Refrain from standing within arm's length of others. Do not touch others with their head. Greet the elderly by touching their feet if you would. Communication style. Pointing with either one or two fingers is considered rude. Entire hands, not a pointing finger, are used to point or direct someone's attention. Watch out. Head nods can mean yes or no or different depending on to whom you're interacting. In some places, people normally talk loud. Left hand is considered unclean. Be careful not to give anything with left hand. A word in one language can mean different or even a bad word in another. Always accept what is served for drinking or an invitation to dine, unless you have a plausible reason for not attending. Food is sacred and is often eaten with the right hand. Be careful with non vegetarian food, depends on where you are and with whom you are. Guests are generally served in a hierarchical order. Guest of honor, men, and then children. Women may eat later. Meals often end with a variety of sweets, pan beetle nuts served with lime and wrapped in a beetle leaf or sweets. A host will always serve the guests. Accept whatever you're offered, but don't feel obliged to finish everything on your plate. In a restaurant, the host generally pays the bill. Taboos. Feet are considered unclean. Avoid wearing slippers inside home. Avoid putting feet on table, books, paper machines. Do not let one's feet or shoes touch another person. Do not kiss with opposite sex. Winking, ogling, and whistling should be avoided. Ask for permission to sit by the side of a woman on a public transport. Do not smoke at home. Well, that's an interesting read, I would say. While most of it gives a gist of how India was a couple of decades ago, and most of it is true in today's daily life. Uh, I understand the taboos, not walking with the slippers on, not putting the feet on the table, being respectful towards the women. The culture of serving the guests is great, but the hierarchical order of serving meals to the men first and then the children, then coming, then the women sounds a little patriarchal, but the reason it started was because women were the one who cooked back in the time, and once men and children used to come home in the afternoons for the lunch, so they were fed. They made sure they were well fed, and they were served everything that they wanted, and they would go back to their work, and women could leisurely sit back and eat. That was the idea initially, but considering how the world has changed today, I don't think that would be necessary while you're trying to understand the culture of India. I think pretty much everything is just discipline and common sense, and that's today's video, I guess. Tomorrow, let's start onto something different, something nice, and let's also discuss our opinions. I'm just a beginner, so I'm not sure on how to proceed with this. So the initial idea is to read these smaller articles and discuss my opinions on it. Feel free to add your points in the comments. I'd love your opinion, your understanding, if you have a different view, if you'd like to contradict. I welcome criticism, debate. I'm open for anything. So, cool. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.